Welcome, you made it. Hey, if you are here, you are meant to be here. Kick your feet up, listen to this short video, and let's get rolling because Vision Quest is a real thing. We're gonna make a vision board or a vision notebook or something vision related that's really gonna get your brain thinking and kick you to the next level of where you need to be. This was no accident you found me. My name is Michelle. I am doing these Vision Quest challenges, ending up with a coaching program that's related to art and business. That may resonate with you. You may just want to take this one lesson today and roll with it. Whatever works for you, you know how to do this. So my main goal is to have you create a vision board. There is one secret to vision boards that people really don't do or don't follow through on or don't pay attention to. And we're going to talk about that. So you got to watch more of the video to figure out what that is. I'm going to talk about it at the end of the video. There are 4 videos that we're going to do before you see the final end result. And we're going to share those live. We're going to go on a Zoom call. We're all going to put our vision boards on the Facebook page. We're going to be able to talk about them and share them. And that's an essential key ingredient to the work that we're doing here. Okay, so in front of me, I've gathered a bunch of supplies, and unfortunately, if I take the camera out and flip it around, then you won't hear, well, you'll hear me, but you won't see me anymore. So I'm gonna stay focused here and just show you the things as I roll along. Being very mindful to pay attention to where the camera is. So the first thing I've got are rulers. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna trim the pages in tomorrow's video, but the goal today is to gather your supplies because I'm gonna show you the supplies you need, and inevitably you're gonna sit down to do a vision board and you're like, oh, where's my glue stick? And it's gonna make you crazy. So I want you to gather all your supplies now. I have 2 rulers. I like the metal one, but the see-through one is also really good because you might want to be seeing the image on the other side that you're gonna cut or tear around. So it's your choice. I have 2 pairs of scissors. These here, the silver ones, are actually hair cutting scissors, which are really super fun, and I really like them because they're really sharp, but just basic scissors, no big deal. Chapstick, no, don't know that you need that, but in case you do, there's also the glue stick. The glue stick, I like the big fat boys because I don't like those purple glue sticks either. I find those are wonky. So get the white ones. You can use real glue, you can use tape. There's really no rules. I want you to kind of lighten up when you do this. I find that sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, she did it this way. I need to do it exactly like this. That is not the case at all. You can do it any way that you're interested in doing that makes sense to you. I don't care if you're like in a tent in the woods and have some free time to do this, or if you're in a mansion and you've got all the best magazines in the world and all your assistants are helping you. It doesn't really matter. This is very particular to you. I want you to open your heart and soul and be very mindful of what your needs are. This is not a vision board because your kids want you to be a certain way or your parents said, go to college and do this and this is what you need to become. No. This vision board is for you and it's 100% for you. This is a safe zone. No one knows what you're doing here. There's no judgment. There's no should've, could've, would've. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep it love-based. And already 5 of you fell off the call and that's totally cool. We're gonna keep this honorable, loved-based. So we're gonna honor everyone who comes here. There's gonna be no judgment about how they're doing things or what things look like. The point is to get started and to try and to see how it opens up your world. Okay, the last thing I have here is an X-Acto knife. I personally do not like cutting things out. I'd rather tear and cut them, but some of you are crafters and you love using the X-Acto knife. I do not. Okay, so those are your supplies. The other supply, this one I've had for a number of years. I got it at a store that's closed now, but this is just a sketchbook that has blank pages, which I really like. I'm gonna show you what I did with that. And I also have just a notebook, and this is from Staples, nothing fancy or peculiar. It's got lines on it, which some people may like because you can line up your pictures, whatever you choose. I'll show you the front, very simple vision board. But I put a little sticky note on it. This is my visioning board for writing. Inside are words, not anything that I took pictures of. Those are different. Now, my name is Michelle. I run a business called The Glass Academy. We're located in Dearborn, Michigan. And I've run this business for over 20 years. I have done vision boards since my kids were tiny, tiny little. And I have 2 kids. And I found that vision boards really worked. And over the years, I would describe them to my friends. Sometimes we'd get together and do them. And it was really cool when we did them because we'd put them together and look at each other's and then be like, wow, yours is so different than mine. There is no right or wrong way to do this. The other cool thing is if you know your friends' visions and dreams, you can help them achieve them. So that's part of my goal here too, is I'm giving you a safe space to land all your vision board dreams on. And then we're going to talk about them together. And once we do that, that's going to open the doorway for those energies to start happening for you. Now, don't doubt the process. It happens. Trust me, I've done it. I know. Okay, the other thing you want to do is gather some magazines. And what I find sometimes is people have every excuse under the sun. Listen, you showed up. That means you want to do this. So don't make excuses. Just roll with it. Once you start looking with a creative mind, you're going to come up with all these ideas that you didn't think of before. So let me give you some examples. We went out of town. Our daughter lives in the Hudson Valley, and we just went to coffee shops and different stores around the area. This was from a coffee shop. It was an art magazine. Golden. I don't know if there's anything that I want in it, but we're going to take a look. Edible magazine. These are all about food. Some very cute things, some pictures in there. Very picture-centric, heavy, like that. This one, Spring Home Improvement. Again, something I picked up in a coffee shop or a store. I don't even know what's in it. My sister came by. This is a 2016 magazine. Country Living. Now, I am not a country living girl. I do want a farm and I want to live in the country, but it's not a magazine. If I was to go to the local bookstore, this is not a magazine I'd ever grab off the shelf. But here it is in my possession. I'm sure there's something of value in it. Canadian House and Home. I am not Canadian. My sister is. So March 2024. This one is more recent. And it's from her friend, Wanda. Thank you, Wanda. Because I don't know who she is. This one, Midwest Living. I live in Michigan. So this one is more related to me. My guess is this is going to be pretty tourist related. So I may see something I like in here. I may not. I don't know. This one is from, I believe, again, when we went to visit our daughter in Hudson. This one is, we donated something. And my staff member has a note here. Lots of good stuff in here. Really inspiring photos. So definitely want to take a look at that. And then I have so many, they fell on the floor. Food and Wine. This is one that I get because I'm interested in. Bon Appetit, another food magazine I'm interested in. Success Magazine. I am a business owner, so I have lots of success, entrepreneur, those style magazines. Business magazines I don't mind getting because they're going to have some of the symbols and words that I need in them. Okay, so if you are following me with the course, you're going to have a written PDF of all of this stuff. If you are not, we've got the tools that you need, scissors, glue stick, rulers. We've got the blank notebooks. We've got magazines. Now that's pretty much it for the first day. I want to show you here what we're going to do for the second day is we're going to tear out these images and pictures and we're going to get them in a file so that we can hone in on what we want to do. Now, I want to show you a finished vision board, but on the same hand, I don't, because what happens is when I show you my finished board, then everyone thinks their finished vision board needs to look like mine, and it doesn't. Sorry, I'm not redoing this video. Sneezing is real. When I did vision boards with one friend, what I thought was so interesting, for whatever reason, squares and right angles seemed to make sense to me. It never occurred to me to even cut out anything round. She was cutting out all these egg shapes and round shapes and amoeba shapes and slapping them on her vision board. And I was just like, what is that? What is that? And I thought it was really funny. And the other thing is she wants to live by the ocean. So it was like waves and water, all these things in her vision board. which is super cool because it's so different than what I would have created. So again, I am not going to show you guys any right, wrong, indifferent. You're going to do what feels good to you. Now, I suggested a notebook. The reason I like the notebook is because you can add pages to it and flip forward or flip back and see them all in one space. I didn't bring it with me, but you can also get a board. The 2 feet by 3 feet seems to be like a good size. It's like Staples has them, the poster boards like your kids might have them. You could go smaller than that, like 1 foot by 2 foot or 24 inches by 18 inches, something smaller. It doesn't matter. It's really where you feel you need to be. Sometimes I think if you take out the images that you're interested in and lay everything on the table, that might guide where you end up going. If it's too big, you might need a bigger vision board. If you're not finding enough stuff, you might want to make it on a smaller board so it seems more doable. My vision board resides in the other room. I've done them for years, like I said, so my older ones kind of go along the walls in my workout space, but the one that I'm currently involved with is something I see as soon as I wake up. You know how it is sometimes when you wake up. At this stage in my life, I wake up when the sun gets up. I don't have to get kids out the door, so my day starts whenever I wake up. And with that, I spend a few silent moments looking at the vision board. I rotate my eyes around it and think about all the different things that are on it and how they would enhance my life and those around me. And it really gets me in a nice centered place and makes me feel really nice. Sometimes I have very vivid dreams and they're not always the best dreams. So the vision board like kind of mellows me out in the morning. Okay, so let's flip through a magazine for a second so that you can see some of the things that you might want to look for. The different thing about after you've gotten your supplies, we're going to tear pages out of the magazine. Now I'm going to go in more detail tomorrow, but I want you to pick a variety of magazines. If your husband's got like a woodworking magazine, ask him if you can borrow it. If your wife has something to do with knitting, I want you to ask her if you can borrow it. And please ask before you tear out pages. The reason I say that is some of the magazines are going to have symbols in them or patterns or designs that are going to appeal to you. At first, we're going to take a bunch of images that we may or may not use, and I'm going to tell you why tomorrow or on the next video. But for now, you want a variety of things to be able to choose from. Now, it doesn't matter the size of the image. It doesn't matter if it's the right color, if it's the wrong font, if the people in the picture have different skin color than you or hair color than you. The idea is to get yourself thinking about what matters to you. Now, we're going to talk about these, so be prepared to talk out loud. If you were to hold up your vision board to someone, you need to be able to speak to it. And I'm going to give you a real good example. In fact, I could pull up the photo, but I won't. I have a photo in one of my vision board books, and it's of a woman walking through this beautiful, lush greenhouse. And to me, the image is about all the greens that are around her. Now, granted, it's clothing and she's showing off the shirt because that's what's being sold. But to me, it was about the greenhouse. It was about the plants around her, and she's wistfully looking up at some of the plants. And that was what I wanted. I wanted to feel the warmth of the greenhouse, the smell, the humidity, the beauty of it, the sun rays coming in. And when I showed my friend my vision board, she looked at it and said, "What? You want to be that skinny? Like, oh, she's so skinny." Didn't even occur to me. Like, not anything that I was even paying attention to. And then I looked at the model and I looked at her clothes and I was like, oh, I guess she is kind of skinny. But at the time, my friend was very heavy. So she was very sensitive to this thin looking woman and assumed that's what I was interested in, when really what I was interested in was all what was around me. So that's the secret ingredient to vision boards. when we do our live Zoom call, we're going to talk about this with each other. You're not going to know each other. There's going to be people on the call from all over the place, maybe even all over the world. And so when we talk about the vision board, these people have no judgment on you. They don't know if you live in a trailer or a mansion. They don't know if you eat steak every night or you can only eat potato chips because that's all you got. There is no judgment here. Anyone coming to this group is coming from a place of love and honor and vulnerability, because really, like, it took me years. Now, my kids, when they were little, they wouldn't have known any different, but I'll tell you, it took me years to share my vision book with anyone because it was so personalized to me. And look, here it is. I'm going to share it with you right now. Let me find an example. Okay, for me, this is like a design book. So I put in all these pictures that relate to design. Some of them were kind of related to maybe how I wanted a home, but they were really about patterns and designs. I'm an artist, so this was like, I called it my inspiration Bible. But on the same hand, there were things like, oh, I want to travel. And if I go on a bike trip, what does that look like? And the front of the magazine here, I have all the next images that I'm gonna put into my vision board, and they're waiting patiently because I personally like to match up all my colors. And so here's the other thing that's super interesting for me. I have a glass blowing business. This is what our business is. This is how I make my living. But I've always been gardening. And it wasn't until I made a choice that I was interested in a career change that I really took a look at my vision board book. And I recognized probably 2/3 of this is plant related. Now, at the time, I didn't know it. When I was creating this, it was just beautiful colors, images, and things I wanted to see in glass. And then you know what happened? I really looked at it and I'm like, these are all plant related. Like, there's food and there's plants and there's patterns. And so I've made a conscious choice that my next journey is to be a farmer. And I'm not sure what that looks like. I kind of have an idea. I don't 100% have an idea, but I'm going to use these vision boards to help me get there. Okay, so today is day 1. We're going to work on this together because I'm going to create my next vision board. I do these every couple months, so I have a refreshed one. I'm going to create it along with you so you can see some of the things. I will probably do one of the videos where you're not seeing me, but you're actually seeing the process. Or I'll put it back further. I don't know how I'm going to do this. But today, you know what you need to do. You need to gather your supplies. That's another example of how someone put their vision board on the wall. So that's an idea as well. But this was today's lesson number 1. If you are connected to me, you are going to get a PDF that gives you all these supplies. It gives you written words. I know some of us are better with written words than we are listening to an audio. You can reference this, but sometimes just reading it's enough. It's all your choice. So this video is going to be stored on my website and on my YouTube page, so you can watch it anytime, come back and reference it. If you are seeing this video without knowing about where the written PDF is, then you want to go to the links above or below or wherever they are. They're going to guide you to my website, and on the website you can sign up and I'll send you the links to everything you need to know. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. I look forward to seeing what you guys are going to create. I think you caught it. If you were listening there, the key that I said for the vision board is sharing. That is the key. We're going to do that on the last day. So take care, everyone. I look forward to seeing you again.